The police state ends with me. We've made it one more day. Please take a look at the news article down in the description below. Now, with these daily reports of criminal acts by Oklahoma police, and in fact all across the country, how are we supposed to trust our system is even remotely fair? In this article, an OSBI, Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, the Oklahoma's form of the FBI. So in this article, an OSBI forensic computer expert was caught stealing test questions to become certified. Guess that doesn't make him an expert after all, right? Folks, the reality is that since the police have little to no accountability for lying under oath, which is laughingly called test-a-line, since they have no accountability, they don't even need to know how to do their jobs. They can just lie, and the DAs and the judges will go right along with it. I've read studies, and you can go out and Google them and find them, that show as much as 10% of people in prison are completely innocent. Seriously. And it's because over 90% of people that go to jail, they go to jail without a trial. They just get pressured by the lying police, DAs and judges to take a plea deal for less time than they would risk if the police planted evidence and falsified evidence and lied under oath against them. Test-a-line. In other words, people that are completely innocent are pleading guilty to crimes they didn't commit simply because they're being threatened with basically life in prison or 50 years in prison, and they're offered 2 years in prison, so they take that. Now, I don't know why people would do that. That just seems crazy to me, but that's what people are doing. Because when the police lie under oath and people want to believe that our system is good and righteous and fair, and they want to believe the police, and the police laughingly call it test-a-line, and they get away with it, and the DAs and the judges go right along with it, then there is no system to protect, serve, or there is no innocent until proven guilty. As long as the police simply say you're guilty, you're guilty. It's insane. It's stupid too. And honestly, I'm going to say something a little offensive here, but it's stupid that so many Americans would even believe that. Come on, you're smarter than that. You got to be able to think, don't you? I mean, you're just not thinking if you just listen to people tell you things. Do your research. Our system is broken. When the police can lie, cheat, steal, go after innocent people at the behest of the likes of Jane Phillips Medical Center leadership, it's broken. And when I say broken, I don't mean these are accidental things happening. These are purposeful things. The system is set up to do this. The thing has to be fixed. It's not just accidental. So why have we let it go so far? Why have we let it get this bad? Indeed, I know, personally, I know the police are threatening liars that come at you in huge force with guns on the ready, threatening your life and liberty and treating you like garbage. That is my personal experience. I don't have to take people's word for it. I don't have to do research on it. I know. Whether people want to believe it or not, I know. That is the Bartlesville Police behavior. And the biggest risk to my life is that they know that too. They know they're liars, cheats, thieves. They know they did it from the start. They know they're doing it today. And worse than that, they know I know that. The Bartlesville, so the Bartlesville police are relying on fear that they can do this to people and no one will speak up and hold them accountable. I mean, like I said, they show up in huge force with guns on the ready, with threats and threats of violence, threats of killing you. And they rely on people keeping their mouth shut about their behavior. And only over the years a few people have spoken up, but I mean, they're getting so far out of hand, I mean, it's always been, any corruption's out of hand, but they're so bold. I mean, just so bold. It's unbelievable, you know. The lying, the thieving, the roaming gang of armed robbers and jackbooted thugs known as the Bartlesville Police might continue their ways, but it won't be without having light shone upon them. The Bartlesville Police will, now or someday in the future, be caught, and their criminal acts should embarrass the hell out of them. But they won't, as the Bartlesville Police and the so-called leaders of the city of Bartlesville's community and the so-called leadership of James Phillips Medical Center are behaving as psychopaths and sociopaths, so they have no feeling. They just don't care what they do to the citizens. Of course, unless they are a corporation, wealthy, or well-connected. You know, and I'll give you an example, like Mike Moore. He looks himself in the mirror every day, and he says, yeah, I lied, you know, and said that Mark never complained to me back, you know, when he was being harassed when he worked for James Phillips Medical Center. But I can rationalize that, and I can live with myself. And look what all he's calling, and my life is absolutely at risk. And probably when I get killed by the Bartlesville Police, he's going to be able to look at himself in the mirror and say, well, I started this, caused this, lied about it in a police report, and I can live with myself. That's what he's going to do? That is psychopathic and sociopathic, to be able to look at yourself in the mirror, call yourself a Christian, carry around a Bible, and act so as if that you're living Christian values, and be such a liar that's going to end up likely killing someone. That is just psychopathic. Having no feelings for your fellow man. And not only that, not just a neighbor and a fellow man, somebody you've known for 25 years, worked with you and for you and was nothing but polite to you. Just absolutely crazy behavior. So look again at the news article down in the description below. It's just another in a long line of proof that police lie and cheat and don't care about the rules, as they are not held accountable. Look at the slap on the wrist this criminal in the news article got. I mean, how do we not hold the people that are supposed to uphold our laws to at least the same standard as the rest of the citizens? Why do they get a break? They shouldn't. Like I said, little to no accountability. It's a slap on the wrist what he got. If you know you can break the law like that and basically get off scot-free because you are the police, then there you have it, folks. The police they're attracting applicants to be the police that are criminals before they even become police. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't that be where all the criminals go? Because if you want to do criminal behavior and never be held accountable for it, little to no accountability, you would go be a police officer or DA or a judge, because you can do anything you want and get away with it. Lie, cheat, steal, put somebody in prison for life, put them on the death and get the death penalty, lie under oath, doesn't matter. Nobody ever holds you accountable. But buddy, that ends. That's gonna end. Every single case that had evidence from this guy in the news article, this so-called computer forensics expert that worked for the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation for over 11 years, worked for the OSBI as a police officer for over 11 years. Every single case that he was involved in for 11 years should be overturned. He's a liar, a proven liar, and a criminal. He doesn't have to know how to do his job because he can just lie, like the Bartlesville Police, likely taking bribes, falsifying evidence, planting evidence, and sleep well at night like a psychopath would. Folks, this must stop. I mean, look at history. How have empires, how have countries brought themselves to the ground? It's this steady march towards a police state where the police can do absolutely anything. the groups of large people, the corporations, tell them what to do. And the DAs and the judges go along with it. Look at history. This has happened over and over and over again. Every step towards a militaristic police, where they show up at your house with 5 officers and 5 police cars and block off the street and turn it into a war zone, basically. It's insane. And whether we put a stop to it as citizens by speaking up and saying no more, or it's just going to keep marching until it just destroys the entire country and there's nothing left but military police in a police state with a few elites that can do anything they want, like the DAs and the judges and the wealthy and the well-connected and the corporations, and the rest of us are just nothing. We're chattel. Wake up! The police state ends with me. And with that said, I'll try to calm down and see you tomorrow.